List building, putting your opt-in list building into overdrive. Tonight we're going to be talking just what the slide says. We're going to be talking about list building. This is something you've heard probably that is pretty important. You've also maybe tried it and you're not quite understanding how to get that list going. After tonight, I really hope that we can get that off the ground for you and get you thinking some different things and showing you some different ways to start getting going on your list building, because it is very, very important. If you want a long-term business where you are really in it to make some money, you need to have a list. And not only a list, but you need to have a good quality list, a highly targeted quality list in the niche that you're in, that has people on it that know you, like you, and trust you, and are buying and paying customers. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The money is in the list, and if you had $1 for every time you've heard that said, there would be no reason for you to go through any other training, because you would already have your fortune. Without a list of responsive customers, you are not going to be very successful in online marketing. Yes, you can make a few sales here and there, but the problem of it is the most of the cost that goes into things is actually getting those sales. Once you get somebody on your list, you have the opportunity to sell to them over and over again. The problem with not list building is you can get traffic to your websites, but when that traffic shows up to your website, if you don't collect that name and email while they're there, chances are that it's going to be a long time if they ever show back up to your website once again. And that's not what you want. You've spent too much time, you spent too much effort, you spent too much money trying to get these people to your website with the traffic methods that you're using. And once you get them there, you don't want to lose them. You want to get them on your list so that you can build a good, strong buying relationship with them to get them to buy from you over and over again. That is where the real money is at. Do I need a list? After that little speech that I just gave you, the simple answer is yes. You need a list. A list will build loyalty and repeat business, and that's what you're looking for. It's no different than an offline store. When you go into an offline store, that the manager, the person that owns the business, whoever it is that greets you there, they're there to serve you and to build loyalty so that you are going to come back. So that you're not just going to be a one-time show, you're going to show up time and time again for that repeat business. If you walk into a grocery store, and you don't have a pleasant experience, are you going back to that grocery store? Probably not, unless you have to, if there's nothing else open. You go where you feel that, your loyalty lies, and that's what your job is to build loyalty and repeat business, and you do that through your list. It's the quickest and most direct method of communication. All you have to do is type up one email. Because they're going to be in your autoresponder. That's where you're going to house your list. One email, all you have to do is type that up, and you broadcast it to part of your list, to all of your list, whatever your choice is at that time, and you send out that email. You just click a button, and it's gone. It's out to your entire list. Now that's pretty quick. Otherwise, you would have to go about that, about your list, calling each one of those. If you have a list of 10,000 people and you start calling those people one by one, that's going to take a long time. When you have them on a list, you just basically send out that email and it's ready to go. You're communicating, and it's one of the most effective and direct methods of communication there is. Immediate, repeatable, and measurable results. You can get immediate results. Once you get somebody on on that list, you can get immediate results. You can get repeatable results, where not only are they buying from you right then and there, or signing up to whatever taking that action that you're asking them to take. It can be repeatable, where you get them to take that action time and time again. And it's a good way for you to be able to measure your results, to be able to find out if your emails are getting open, and it's just getting those people on your list. Being able to keep track of how many people are there, what kind of conversions you're getting when you're sending them to different sales pages or whatever that you're sending them to. You're able to track and keep records of who's actually buying, what they're buying, what they're not buying, what the response is. It's a good way for immediate, repeatable, and measurable results. It's easy and not a lot of tech skills required to build a list. About the only thing that's technical about list building is setting up the squeeze page. You gotta get your domain name, your hosting, set up that squeeze page, create your free offer, and then drive traffic. There's not a lot of tech skills. Now there's a lot more to building a list and building a good quality list than just that. But as far as the tech skills that everybody's worried about, not a lot of tech skills. It can be easily outsourced if you don't understand the technical parts of it. Very, very reasonable. And it helps turn leads into customers. A lot of the times when you get somebody on your list, they're not a customer right now. All they are is a lead. You put them on your list. They don't know you yet. They don't like you. They don't trust you. Maybe you didn't do quite a good enough job with the sales page or whatever on pre-selling them and getting them to buy. Once you get them on your list, this was going to help you build that relationship and continue the pre-sell where you can continue to deliver value to them, continue to let them get to know who you are and your products, to turn them not from that lead into a customer. And that's what you're after. You're not after just a bunch of people on your list. You want them to be a customer. It's very affordable. There's very minimal cost to list building. With as far as like creating free products, you can use PLR. You can do, it does not cost a whole lot to go create a nice ebook or a report to give away, or a small video series or whatever you want to do to give away. You've seen the giveaways out there. You see what people are using. That's what you're going to be wanting to use. It does not cost a lot to do that. You're going to have your cost of your domain name, which you can get from $7 to $10. You're going to get your web hosting, which you can get for under $20 a month. Your autoresponder right around $25 a month, depending on what service that you use. That's basically it. There's not a lot of other cost to it. So it's very affordable. And it positions you as an expert. Once you get people on your list, you are the expert. They opted into that list because they feel you have something to offer them. They see you as the expert now. And this is also giving you that opportunity to really position yourself as the expert as you build that relationship with your customers and your leads as they come onto your list. This is one of the best ways to position you as an expert. You now are in control. Once that person opts in, they've said, yes, I want to be here. You're now in control. You are the one that are sending them the emails now. You're not waiting for somebody to show up to your website anymore. You now have them where you want them, for you to position yourself as the expert in their eye and get them to start buying them through those relations. All right, elements of list building. Very simple elements to list building. First of all, you have to identify your market. You need to decide what market you're after. Not only the market, but you need to identify the problem that that market is having. That's something that's going to be very critical in these elements that we're going to be talking about, is identifying the problems. And as throughout this training, we've been telling you and sharing you of ways where you can go out and identify your market and identify the problems that they're having. The research that you put into it at this time is very critical. Most of this has already been done. You just have to go research the research that's already been done. But start to find out what the problems are. One of the best things about list building is once you do have a list, it's going to make this part of it a whole lot easier, because you can contact the people that you have on your list now to find out what kind of problems that they're having. There's many different methods that you can use to get a hold of them. You can, through your email, you can have your support desk, you can do webinars, teleseminars, whatever it is, once you have these on your list, to be able to get in front of them and open up that two-way communication to start identifying their problems and stuff, because it's very critical that if there's no problem, then you're not going to be able to have anything to solve. You're going to get domain and hosting. Very reasonable. I would just go to some place like GoDaddy and to get my domain name, I would go to somebody like Bluehost or HostGator for my hosting. And I really don't like to, a lot of times you can just go to someplace like GoDaddy, get your domain and hosting. I don't like to do that. I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket. If something would happen with that domain that you've got, maybe you got caught for spam or something like that, you still have your hosting. I like to keep them separate. I use GoDaddy and HostGator and Bluehost. I like to keep the two separate. That's optional. That's up to you. You can get it through places like GoDaddy. You can get your hosting and your domain through the same companies. Set up a simple website. What we're talking about here is a squeeze page. You can go with something like a blog, a WordPress blog if that's what you wish. Once you have your hosting, you got your cPanel, you can set up a WordPress blog. I recommend setting up a hosted WordPress, not the free ones, just because you are limited in what you can do. You're in this to build a business. You're in this to make money. You're in this to be able to have the control over your own websites. Set up one through your hosting account. Do not just go out and get a free WordPress. You're limited in what you can do with that. You're limited on making money. And basically, it's there for them to make money off of your site. So set up a website. If it's going to be a blog, make sure it's a hosted one. But we're talking mainly about the squeeze page tonight, and we're going to be getting into that in just a little bit. Create your free irresistible offer. This can be something, many different things. It can be a video, a small video set. Maybe you do a interview of like 5 or 6 people, and you just give away one of the interviews. Maybe it's partial interviews. Maybe out of the 5 interviews that you do, you give away you look for part of the best content out of one of those in some of those interviews, and you give just a portion of the interviews, and then you tell them to get the rest of it, you need to opt into the squeeze page. It can be an ebook, it can be a report. Whatever it is, you can have them opting in to a webinar, to a teleseminar, whatever it is that you are creating, that free irresistible offer. Set up follow-up message series. So you're going to need an autoresponder. I recommend Aweber or GetResponse. It's probably some of the best ones out there. There's other ones you can get through like your shopping cart where you get all in one. Infusionsoft, which is more expensive, but you're going to need to set up a follow-up message series. Once somebody opts in for your free irresistible offer, you now need to get them to buy from you. You don't just want them on there, sitting there forever, just taking things for free. You want to get them to buy. So you need to set up a follow-up message series where this is going to lead them in the path in a direction that you want them to go. Remember, once they're on that list, you're in control, and your follow-up messages are going to lead them in the direction toward the sale, and you're the one that's going to be doing that. Get targeted traffic. So basically, once you're all set up, you need to be getting targeted traffic. We're going to be talking about that at a later time. We will be getting into a few traffic methods of ways that you can build your list with some traffic tonight, some simple ones that you can use, but you need to get targeted traffic, not just any traffic. Who cares? If you got 1,000 people showing up to your website, if only 10% of them are interested in what you even have to offer. You need to go after targeted traffic. You need to know where your market is hanging out at, and you need to go after that kind of traffic. Let them know how you can solve their problem. So now what you have to do is you need to let them know how you can solve their problem. A lot of this is going to be through your squeeze page at first. Once that traffic shows up to that simple website, you're going to show them on there how you can solve their problem, that you have got the solution to the problem that they're having, and the solution that they're searching for is right at their hand, they're at that door right now. Ask for the appropriate action. Never have somebody show up to your website. And I have been to a lot of websites where I've seen this time and time and time again. I'll show up to the website. I'm enjoying myself on the website, a lot of great content. And as I look over this website, I'm looking at it and I'm going, wow, this person is really missing out here. They've got excellent content and they have nothing for me to do except for read. Now, if that's all you want to do, if you're building relationships after you, with your list and you're sending them content to read, great. I don't understand why you wouldn't put some other kind of action in whatever they're reading. But if you have a website and somebody shows up to that, you need to have some kind of action for them to take. Otherwise, the only action that there is for them to take is to click away. And it's hard enough to get somebody to your website. It's hard enough to keep somebody interested and on your website to take that action. So why would you want them? Why would you want to lose them once they show up? Make sure you have something set for them so that they have to take an action. You have a desired action for them to take. Make it very clear, make it very visible, and get them to take the action. Because if not, you have just totally missed out. You've just totally lost that person. And build relationships. Once they're on your list, you're going to build relationships, and we're going to be covering that in just a little bit. All right, is the size of your list important? Yes and no. The answer really depends on how well you manage the size of the list that you have. So what should you be looking for as far as the size of your list and a little bit about your list and stuff? There's basically two different things that you need to really be worried about when it's list building, and that's basically the quality of your list. And I believe this is number one. A lot of people will really focus on the size of the list. That comes into play, but what you really need to be focusing on is the quality, where you have a very specific and targeted list of opt-ins with well-built relationships between the list owner and the opt-in. And let me repeat that one more time. A very specific and targeted list of opt-ins with well-built relationships between the list owner and the opt-in. Very specific. Not just a bunch of people on your list. You want those people on your list that showed up because they were interested in what you have. And the reason that you got them there is because you went out in your research. You knew who your market was. You knew where they were hanging out, and those are the people that you targeted. You gave them what they wanted. They're there now. You now have a good quality list, and you're going to build that quality as you build the relationship between you and that opt-in now, and that's what you're looking for, a good quality list. A lot of people have made a lot of money with a very small list. There's a lot of people will tell you, it's like, man, I made a $10,000 on this affiliate launch and stuff they did, and well, come to find out they have, they've got like a list of 100,000, and you look at that and go, well, that's not a lot of money with a list size of 100,000. And then you get somebody else that comes along and says, I made $10,000 on that same launch. Well, man, you must have a pretty good sized list too. Well, not really. I only had 1,200 to 1,800 people on my list, and you're like, no way. And the thing of it is that person didn't focus on the size of the list from the beginning. They very much focus on the quality of that list. They build a strong, solid relationship, and when they went to their list and said, you need this, that list responded so much better than that person that focused on building the size of the list instead of the quality. The quantity is also important. But what you really want to be focused on here when you're thinking quantity is the number of qualified targeted opt-ins with well-built relationship between list owner and opt-in. So we're right back with that well-built relationship going on. So what you need is not just a pile of people. You need that number of qualified targets. So it's quality first, and then focus on the quantity. For me, I'm looking for both of them. I'm looking for a large list with good quality people on it, not just a large list. Start thinking about focusing on the quality first. So how do I turn my leads into buyers? There's three most important things that you can be focused on. And the first one is that relationship. You need to build a strong, solid relationship with your leads to turn them into buyers. And remember, that's what we're doing. We're not just looking for a bunch of free people, on there sucking you dry of everything that you put out there for free. Your job is to turn them into buyers. And if they're going to sit there forever and just take take from you, who cares if they leave? Because you're not, you haven't, for some reason, you just have not connected with them. The only kind of relationship that they're seeking is something for free, and that's not what you're looking for. You want somebody that is ready to buy from you. Over deliver. This is one of the most important things that you can do to turn your leads into buyers, and that's over deliver. And I'm talking about over delivering from the very moment that they show up to your website. With that very offer that they opt in for needs to be over delivering. You're thinking, well, I'm just giving them something for free. It's just this report that I've got. All it is free. Well, the thing of it is you are starting to build a relationship from the moment that person shows up to your website. And if they show up and they get that free report, they get those videos, and what they find is junk and it's really nothing that they really needed, what are they going to think about the rest of what they're going to be getting from you? First off, they're probably going to opt off of your list right away. But if they choose to stick around, what are they going to be thinking the next time that you send them? They're going to be going from that very first experience when they showed up to your website. If you deliver crap, that's what they're going to expect. If you deliver quality, they're going to learn to expect quality from you. They're going to trust that you're going to send quality. They're going to trust that you're going to over deliver. And that's one of the things that you really need to focus on from the very beginning is over delivering to your targeted audience. And you need to stay in contact with them. The moment that you choose to, for whatever reason, kind of abandon your list for a while, maybe you sit there and think, well, I'm promoting too much or I'm sending too many emails to them or whatever, and you decide to back off a little bit. And the moment that you back off, I want you to stop and think about something. You're backing off. That person's still going and checking their emails. They go to their email, all of a sudden they don't find you. They don't find that person that they've been building this relationship with over the last few weeks because you decided to take a break from it. Maybe you got too busy and decided that you just didn't have time to do your email and your list building and keeping in contact with your leads. So you took a break. They're going to their email to read your emails from you. They're not finding it. So what are they going to do? They're going to go down the list to look for the next subject line or the next person that's got that email that jumps out at them. They went there looking for yours because you've been building this great relationship. You've been over delivering. You've been really building something strong here. And now all of a sudden you're gone. Well, if you stay gone for too long, guess who they're going to forget? They're not going to forget that person that's still sending them the emails. They're going to forget you because you're gone. And then when they do see your email, they're going to go, man, who was this again? And I remember them. I don't remember what they had. I've seen a lot of people that have taken kind of a leave of absence for, thinking that 1 month or whatever is not going to help them. And they would go off and they would do something else. They would neglect their list. And they would come back to them and they would send out something and they would make hardly any sales at all when before they had a very responsive list. It's because they lost contact with their list. That list, they forgot who they were. They've been building a relationship with somebody else that they found in the meantime. People want you to be sending them emails. Now, there are certain different niches out there that you're going to have to be careful with. With the internet marketing niche, the make money online, trust me, you can send out emails all the time. You get them all the time. You have to kind of judge by the emails that market is already getting in their list. So in their email. So what you want to do is make sure you understand what kind of emails are going out. Is that market that you're in, are they used to getting a lot of emails or are they used to only getting 1 or 2 a week? If they're only used to 1 or 2 a week and you go bombarding them like we do in the internet marketing niche, they're probably going to unsubscribe right away because that's not what they're used to. So make sure that you know what it's used to. And my guess is that if you're in that niche, you're going to know because my guess is you're going to be on somebody's list and you're going to be already getting emails from them. You're going to understand what the limitations are in that. So know your market, know your target audience and what they're going to accept. And whatever that rule is, stick to it and stay in contact the best that you can because the moment that you don't, they're going to forget you. All right, you want your list to know you, like you, and trust you. Here's my absolute #1 secret. The one thing that I want you to take away with you right now, if you choose to walk away from this webinar and stuff, I want you to take this one thing when it comes to building relationships. You can't build a relationship with a list. A list is built of individuals who opt into your list. Relationships are for those individuals. Relationships are for people. It's not for that email address that you've got. There is somebody that is attached to that email that they just gave you. They're trusting you with that email, but there's an actual person that actually has that email. They belong to it. You have an email. You're an actual person on somebody's list. The relationship you have to start thinking is between you and the person that belongs to that email, not the email itself. And a lot of people get this wrong. They're sending it out, think, well, I just got a bunch of emails on this list and I'm sending it out to all of these different emails. No, you're not. You're sending it out to real people. You're sending it out to real individuals, and that's who you need to think about building a relationship with. When you go out and if you go out and you find a relationship, let's say you're a guy and you go out and find this woman, are you going out to build a relationship with her name? Not even close. You're going out to build a relationship with the person itself. You want to get to know that person. You already know their name. You already know, if they got an email, great. You probably know that because you're probably emailing them back and forth. You probably know all their account information on their Facebook or their profiles and all that kind of stuff. You already know all of that stuff. Now you're building a relationship with that person, and it's no different with email marketing. You've got to get to know the individual, build that relationship, market to them like you're marketing to that individual person and not just a name on a list. Over deliver. Make sure that you always give value to your subscribers. Over deliver at every opportunity that you possibly can. One of the discovery factors is surprise. Let the customer discover some of the value you are offering. Don't when they show up to your list, you want to give them a lot of value. You really want to make them feel like they're just, basically ripping you off, and they can't believe what they're getting from you. They can't believe the kind of content and the quality and the content that they're getting. But you don't want to give them all of your little surprises right up front. You need to save that. Let them, I call it the discovery factor, let them discover a lot of great thing, a lot more value. So as you're going along, they get something, they're like, wow, they've already delivered so much. I wasn't expecting any more, but this is great. Have that surprise factor going on. Really let them discover more value as they're going on. Surprise them with more value than they even knew they were going to get from you. From that very moment when they showed up, you want them thinking this is great. But then as they go, if you want them to feel like, man, if I never get anything else from this person, oh well, I've just got it. I just feel like I landed in a gold mine. And then all of a sudden you surprise them with something even more and better yet. Deliver more than your customers expect. You always want to deliver to them what they expect. Once they get to know you, you want to make sure that you live up to their expectations, but always do your best to even deliver more than what they're expecting from you. Always have that surprise, that discovery factor there. All right, stay in contact. Maintain a lot of real customer contact on a regular basis. We've just covered this, but I want to go over it one more time because this is really, really important. With autoresponders and other tools to automate online business, this has never been easier. So why in the world would you not want to stay in contact with your list? It took you a long time to get there. You spent money to build that list. You wrote tons of articles maybe. You put together videos. You created your offers. You really took a lot of time and effort to build up that list. Why in the world would you not want to stay in contact with them and build those relationships? Another great way that you can stay in contact with your list is to do webinars and teleseminars. Basically, you could send out to your list, and this would be a great way of adding even more than they've ever expected, is to invite your list once you have them and say, hey, I'd just like to get to know you a little bit more, and to do so, we're going to be doing a webinar tonight. I've got something really important to share with you. It doesn't have to be a hour-long presentation and stuff. It can be a 15-20 minute webinar where you're showing them some kind of new tactic or something that you learned, where you get them on your webinar, your teleseminar, you go over with them, you deliver some good value, you over deliver to them, and all you're doing basically is staying in contact with them, letting them know that you're still here, you're still delivering the value, and you still value that relationship with them. And what this is doing is opening up a very, very important two-way communication between you and your subscribers. Good non-promotional emails offering good, relevant, free tips to help them solve their problems. One of my partners and a lot of other people I'll see out there will do things like Friday freebies, or a wacky Wednesday or something, where they're inviting their list to get together with them, just to give out some good free content. Maybe it's just something as simple as sending out an email to them that has no pitch in it, nothing for them to buy. It's just good, relevant tips to help them solve their problems. And this is a great way to do with your follow-up messages once somebody's there. You have it all set up where you don't have to sit there and rethink all these free tips. Whatever you put it in there as they come on your list, you're just sending out a follow-up message, that's delivering some more good content. And you're not making them buy from you every single time. Now, it's your job to get them to buy, but you also, every once in a while, it's just good to stay in contact with them and just give more value to them. A double opt-in list. This is a clean list of a targeted email addresses of people who are really interested in receiving the emails from you. You want your list to be built of a people who are interested in your offers. Make sure you have their consent beforehand. This is going to keep you out of trouble. Now, there are times, and there's a lot of people out there right now that are not using the double opt-in list. One of the times that I sometimes don't use it is if I want to make sure that when somebody bought something, that they get that download page or whatever. A lot of times they'll forget about going to their email right at that moment. They'll forget about it. That email gets lost, and then they're wanting to know where their product was, and they're looking at you as like, man, they didn't deliver what I was looking for, when all the time it was right there. But instead of going and double opting in like they needed to for that first follow-up message to fire off that has the download page in it, they've neglected that part. So a lot of times they'll turn the double opt-in off on the autoresponder on something like that, just to guarantee that they get that page. I don't recommend doing it any other way except for double opt-in. You want a good, clean list of targeted email addresses, and the only way that I would even suggest it is if they got to get that download page to maintain that good customer relationship going on. But make sure the people want to be there. When they opt in, not only they give you their email, but they just went to their email and checked their inbox for that email that was sent to them. They clicked on another link to say, yes, I did sign up to his list, and yes, I do want what I just signed up for. So they're doubly telling you, yes, I want what you have to offer me. This is the email that they're going to get. You've seen them in yours hundreds of times. Basically, you're going to find the subject line usually says response required. Confirm your request for information from, and it'll give the list name that you just signed up to. And then it'll go through it and tell you exactly what to do. It says, please click the link. You click that. Now they're double opted in, and it fires off that very first follow-up message. Once they click on that link, that message that you've got set to go out is going out immediately to them. It'll have their download page, whatever it is that you want that person to have from that in that very first follow-up message. All right, let's talk about some different ways to build a list. The number one way to build a list is to create a product. We've talked about this several times, and the reason that this is so important to create a product is because you can get JV partners to drive traffic. Now, this is a good traffic method. This is probably one of the best traffic methods that is out there. It's probably one of the fastest ways to build your list is to create a product and have JV partners drive traffic to your product by recommending your product to their list of subscribers. This is going to be the fastest way for you to build your list. Now, here's a tip. Make sure you have a free offer to use to capture names and emails of those not interested in purchasing your product. These are leads for future sales. Everybody that JV partner sends to your website, all of that traffic, every single one of them is not going to buy from you when they go to that sales page. You're probably going to have, if you're really lucky, doing well, you've got maybe a good sales video up and stuff. Sometimes you can do good 20, 30, 40% conversions and stuff, which is really good. But a lot of times you're sitting down there at a 1 to maybe 5% conversion. So 1 out of every 100 people that show up is going to actually buy from you. That doesn't sound like a lot of people, but I'm telling you, JV partners send a lot of traffic to you if you get the right JV partners. They're going to send a lot of traffic, so you're going to make a lot of sales. But you don't want to waste all of that other traffic that doesn't buy with you. So once they click click off of there, maybe you want to have like a exit pop that says, hey, wait a minute, you've seen them 100 times where you've clicked off, you weren't interested, and you said, wait a minute, can I interest you in something else? Maybe a downsell to what they had. Or you've got to, you say, hey, how about this free offer? Just a taste of what I've got. I'd really like you to start building a relationship with you. So have something set up to capture those leads that say, no, I don't want your offer right now. Be able to make sure that you take advantage when every single time somebody shows up to your website, you want to have a way to capture their name and email. All right, this is basically how it works. You find someone with a strong list, and when we're saying strong, we're not just talking about large lists. We're talking about a quality list, and a better yet is a large quality list. But basically, for their list, you're going to give them profit. And you're going to have to give them something. Your JV partners, you need to give them a benefit for them to send you traffic. This is a list that they've worked a long time to develop. And now they're sharing that list with you. So you're going to have to give them a benefit. Now you're going to make less profit on this direction when you use JV partners, because you're going to be giving them a commission. You're going to be splitting it. A lot of times, if you're just in it to really build a list, you're going to even offer 100% commission. Now the thing of it is right now you're losing profit. You're not making a lot of profit, but what you're doing is you're getting that very valuable person on your list now, where you're going to build a relationship and get them to buy from you and continue to buy from you down the road. So that's where most of your profit's going to come from. When it comes from JV partners, it's going to come from your back end strategy that you have up, the rest of your products that you have for them. And that's really important, because JV partners are going to be looking for that. They're not going to be looking for just sending people to your list and for them just to make a little bit on the front end. They also want to see that you got a back end strategy set up where maybe they can make more money or future money, and if for products that they can promote later for you. They want to see that, and the stronger your back end strategy is, the easier it's going to be able for you to find joint venture partners. So basically, you're going to make less products, but you now have a list of people that said, yes, I want what you have to offer. They're interested in what you have. They're interested in starting to build a relationship with you. Have your JV partners send their list to your squeeze page or create a pop-up page. Now, a lot of the times, they're not going to want to send directly to a squeeze page. One of the best ways to do this is, if you're going to have a launch, is that you have a pre-launch, where basically what you're doing is you're having them send something of value to their list to say, go sign up for this right now, get this, because this is, and then they're going to go through their affiliate link. That squeeze page eventually is going to turn to your sales page. So that once they send them to your squeeze page, they're going to be cookied for when you send them. What this is usually for an early sign up. Basically, you're getting them to like, hey, we're going to be launching next week. I got a free gift for you right now. Sign up for this and get yourself on this pre-notification list for you to be one of the first people to find out about this offer. They're more willing to do that because now they're cookied to them. They're showing interest, and you've got a week now to send up some follow-up messages to those people that are on your list now to pre-sell them on this. So a lot of times you're going to have a higher conversion of those people. So they're going to be more apt to send them to a squeeze page for that. Just sending them to a squeeze page for something for free where there's really not a lot of benefit, most joint venture partners are not going to want to do that. They're going to tell you no, because there's got to be something in it for them. They're sharing their list with them. They're sharing their moneymaker basically with you. All right, list building with an affiliate program. This is, a lot of people are, well, isn't that the same thing as a JV? JV partners are people that you contacted. You know who they are. You basically, you know that they're going to send out. Your affiliates, what you need to do is set up an affiliate program where your product is seen, where through the buzz, that's going on, other people hear about it. They go and they sign up as an affiliate because they see that people are making sales. So now they jump on board. And a good thing about list building with affiliate programs is it takes on a new life all of its own. A lot of the times, this is going to be where a lot of the traffic is coming. Joint venture partners will send a big, heavy volume of traffic to your page, to your website, during that launch. Affiliates is going to be more of a long-term effect, where they're going to continue to jump on board even after the launch, to basically sell that product for you to get drive traffic to your website and stuff. So make sure that you list build, set up a great affiliate program for other people to jump on board, because when you're during a launch, you're going to get a lot of buzz generated. You're going to get a lot of traffic coming to that. Google's going to see that. Your name's going to get out there, and other people are going to come to find out what's going on, and they're going to want to jump on board at that time. Have a good, strong affiliate program ready to go. This method takes a little longer to build momentum, but when you do it, it's like placing your list building on autopilot where people will just continue to find it. You can set your products up on ClickBank where they already have an affiliate program for you to set up, or you can do something like One Shopping Cart where you go create your own affiliate pages. You go set up your own program. Both of these are pretty easy to set up your affiliate programs for beginners. It's what I would recommend you do, but make sure that you have an affiliate program set up when you're building your list, because your affiliates will continue to send you traffic even after your launch. Webinars and teleseminars. Using teleseminars or webinars in your strategic marketing plan is a quick and easy way to build a list. Now, a lot of people think that they have to have a list to be able to do webinars and teleseminars. Not at all. What you do have to do is somebody has to have a list, but it doesn't have to be your list. All you have to do is come up with the content, or come up with somebody that has the content that is willing to do the webinar and teleseminar. You just have to orchestrate it and get everything set up, whether you do it or somebody else does it. Using teleseminars and webinars to build your list is a great way, and all you have to do is get this set up, and you have people drive traffic to the webinars and teleseminars. And there's some other methods that you can do, but one of the greatest methods is to find a JV partner that basically has good content. Maybe they have something to sell afterwards. But what you're doing is you're having them you're setting up the webinar. You're having that JV partner send the people to your squeeze page or to that webinar, however you got them to register. And what you're doing is putting them people on your list as they register for the webinar and teleseminar. Then the expert comes along, if that's not you at that time, and they perform the teleseminar webinar for those people that signed up to the webinar and teleseminar. Great way to list build, and it's very easy, and it's a great way to get quality people. So how do you promote your webinars or your teleseminars? You can do blog posts. If you set up a blog, I recommend setting up a blog from the very beginning. Once you get your cPanel and stuff, go in, set up a blog, and start adding content to it and stuff. You want to start getting good traffic coming to that. Blogs are a great way to post when you get good traffic coming there, that's showing up regular. Say, hey, do a post on there. It's like, hey, I'm going to be doing a webinar. Make sure you use good keywords. Going to get picked up. People are going to find it, and they're going to find out about your webinar. A lot of times, the thing about the drawbacks out of this is a lot of times you do that webinar, it's in a week, and then a lot of people will show up later and the webinar's over or whatever. So make sure that you have something set up, so if they click on that and say, okay, the webinar's over, but maybe you're offering a recording for them to opt into or whatever once they have that set up. But blog posts are a great way to be able to promote your webinars. JV partners promote to their list where they say, hey, we've got this great webinar for you to show up. They promote to your squeeze page to register for the webinar. Post a link to your webinar sign up page on related forums. So go to related forums. If you're in the internet marketing niche, promoting money, making money online, go to somebody like the place like the Warrior Forum. Make sure that you've got your 30 posts in there, that you're not just going in there and spamming the place. You've been known to be somebody helpful and really of value to the forum, but go in there and say, hey, I'm going to be doing a webinar, and here's the link for you to register and stuff. I'd love to have everybody there. It's a great place. You can comment on related blogs where you'll find related blogs on the niche that you're in, or that go along with the topics you're going to be teaching on your webinars and your teleseminars. You go in there and basically on these blogs say, hey, this is great content. I really love it. I would like to invite your readership to be able to attend a webinar, and even yourself, the blog owner, be respectful of them, because you want to make sure that that comment gets approved. But basically you comment and say, to get more comment, I would like to take you to this, have you show up to my webinar, and make sure they're going to a squeeze page. There is a script that you can have a programmer to create for you, very simple, that will you can have basically when they sign up to your squeeze page, it will automatically sign them up to your webinar service as well. Because like GoToWebinar, they have to be signed up to the webinar itself to be able to get that unique link that it's going to send out to them to be able to attend the webinar. So they have to be signed up to that. Now you can take those and export that list from your GoToWebinar or whatever service you do and export it into someplace like Aweber. But the thing of it is that you're going to lose a few people because they have to double opt in. Basically, they're going to have to say yes, indeed, it's okay for me to be on this list. And you're going to get a lot of people that aren't going to that did attend the webinar. So it's best to have a real simple script. Just get a hold of a programmer. Go to scriptplants.com. Sometimes you can find people in the Warrior Forum. You can go to Odesk, whatever. Find some place for somebody. They'll create a very simple script. Doesn't take long. Doesn't cost very much to have it. Where it will basically sign people up to your list and to the webinar service all at the same time. You can do paid advertising. You can promote your events using pay-per-click if you wish. I don't recommend that unless you really know what you're doing. If you really know how to use your keywords, go for it. If you know how to use pay-per-click, otherwise I would stay away from it and use the free methods myself. Social networking sites such as Twitter and Facebook, you can do Squidoo lenses, where you're basically saying, hey, we're going to be doing a webinar, a teleseminar, here's the link. Make sure that you really, think about those benefits of it when you don't just say, hey, we're going to do a webinar, teleseminar on list building. Give them a benefit of what, for why they should show up to that. Something that really captures their attention, when you're doing that. Like Twitter, you only got 140 characters to be able to, I think Facebook's like 240 characters that you have to work with. So make sure you use the best of that real estate that you have to get them to sign up to it. You can do a press release where basically you can do a press release and yeah, you can send them out every single time. Now, one of the things, if you have these things out there, change them later so that link, so when they go there, if they catch these things and they still click on it, that they go to something and say, that maybe you're offering like the recording or whatever to that webinar or whatever to get them to sign up. You can use places like Google Buzz, sign up for a Google account, a Gmail account. Google Buzz is a place that's really catching on. I like Google Buzz. You go on there. It's basically, kind of like the Facebook social networking type things, where you go in there and say, hey, I'm going to be doing a webinar, teleseminar. The benefits, here's the link to go register for it. There's a lot of other options out there. This is just a very few of the ways that you can use to promote your webinar. But one of the best things is to get JV partners to say, yeah, I'll send people to that webinar and stuff. And one of the best ways to do is to let that JV partner at the end maybe do a pitch they go through your affiliate link so that you're both earning an income afterwards. But make sure that if you're going to do that person's known for giving good content. That they're going to, make them understand that you're not there just to deliver a little bit of content and then pitch to them, that you want to give your readership really good, valuable content, because that's going to even want them to, buy at the end. You're going to have a higher conversion. So make sure that you're delivering good content all the way around. Some things that you can use for webinars, teleseminars, services, instantteleseminar.com for a teleseminar. That's basically a place where you can do a webcast. You can get them on a phone line, or they can just join you on the webcast. There's like an 18-second delay behind it. You can answer their questions, whatever you want to do. It's great for doing a Q&A. And that is a great way to list build as well, doing a teleseminar, saying, hey, sign up right now for this teleseminar, this Q&A that we're going to be doing and stuff. I'm going to be there for whatever time to answer all the questions that you have. So this is a great place to use for that. They can type it in, or they can join you live on the call to have their questions answered. You can do webex.com. I think they got different levels that you can go. I think they both that and GoToWebinar have basically a free service that you can sign up to a trial period. They're both a little bit costly. I think WebEx you can go up to like 3,000 people. I don't know the cost on that for sure. GoToWebinar used to be $99 a month. They just went up significantly. I want to say it's like, $499 right now for GoToWebinar, the service that we're using for this. But it is well worth it once you have a list, to be able to use this. So make sure that you're ready to go. You're ready to monetize this stuff before you get these things. Those are just a couple. You can go out and look for free teleseminars or webinar lines. The thing that you have to understand about those, the free ones, is that they're usually very, very limited on the number of people. Sometimes it's 10 people, sometimes it's 100 people. So if you got a good JV partner able, capable of really sending a lot of people to that, you're going to be very limited if you find a free line that only allows 10 people to get on there. You're going to be, you might build a little bit of a list, but how many people are going to be upset when they can't attend that webinar and stuff? So really be thinking about them when you're signing up for these free services and stuff. Basically, you get what you pay for. List building with teleseminar interviews. This is a really good way where you basically set up JV partners to do interviews, and then you build a list through it, sending people to the interviews. Line up experts with products to sell. Make sure that the experts, whenever you're doing an interview, make sure, and I don't care what it's for, make sure that the interview that you're going to be doing, that the expert has a product that you can sell, even if it's not at that very moment. Make sure you have something, they have something that you're going to be able to sell either during the interview or afterwards, down the line through a follow-up messages, whatever it is. Make sure they have a product to sell. Get an affiliate link and schedule your calls with your experts. Get your domain and hosting and a teleconference line and test it. Always make sure that you test everything to make sure it's working. Don't just show up to your webinar service, your teleconference line for the very first time and hope that everything goes smoothly. Even the best of us find out that from time to time things fall apart. You lose your connections. And if you don't understand how to make things work, you're not going to come across looking at as the expert. When you go through and you have a bad webinar, trust me, there's people that go, what kind of crazy person am I even following here? And it's going to happen. But when you start out like this, make sure that you at least know, because you're going to get people on every one of these that are going to say, hey, I'm not able to get on. Can you help me here? And you need to be able to direct them at least to the help that they're looking for, and have some kind of a knowledge of what's going on so that you come across as the expert at all time. Set up an autoresponder for list building and follow-up emails. So basically, you're going to need to get your autoresponder if you don't have it already. Set up, get ready for your list building, because this is where your list is going to be housed at. And set up follow-up emails. Your follow-up emails are going to continue to deliver value. They're going to continue to sell whatever that product was that you were trying to sell at the very beginning. Set up an OTO offering maybe on the calls in MP3. Or maybe they're going to be recordings. If you're doing a webinar instead of a teleseminar, it's going to be recording, where basically they're getting on the line free, they're watching the teleseminar, these interviews free, and at the very end of it, you say, I would like to offer you all the MP3s to all of these, teleseminars, this whole series that we're going to be doing. Here you go. That's going to be your one-time offer. Or you could sell, like the transcripts to them, and then maybe the audio or the recorded version and stuff of the MP3s, or just if it's a webinar, the recording of your screen and stuff as your OTO. Make sure that you set up something for them to buy. Maybe you're going to offer them private label rights to these interviews or to the content that you're giving at the end. Make sure you have something though when you're offering them there. But you bring them on for free, get them on your list, and then you give them an offer. Create a squeeze page and a confirmation page. So you're going to want to make sure, and I should add into there, is make sure if you're going to have something for your OTO, you're going to need to set up a download page as well for them to be able to download the information that they end up buying from you. So you're going to create your squeeze page, your confirmation page, and your download page. I want to add that in there. So for when they show up to the list, you're able to list build from this. Entice visitors to your squeeze page with the free teleseminar. So basically you're saying, I want you to show up for free. Does this sound familiar to you? Show up for free because I've got this great content that I want to deliver to you. And it's free of charge, no strings attached. I just want you to show up. You get them there, you get them on your list, and you deliver the quality there. And you got your JV partners and everybody else sending out, inviting them to the list. You're using the different methods like your social media, like Facebook, your blogs, all of this to be able to drive your traffic to get the visitors to sign up for your teleseminar. Have your experts. Have the experts, and this is all of them that you have. So let's say you set up 5 different experts. You have all 5 of these experts mail to their list 3 days before the call and the day before the call. Now, I would even go a little bit farther than this. This is just that little thing there is just for the people that are going to be scared about over mailing their list. Have your experts mail their list 3 days before your call. I would do a 3-day series every single time. 3 days before the call, the next day, remind them of the webinar. You're getting people that haven't seen your email to sign up again. The day of your webinar, remind them again. It's tonight. It's happening tonight. And then I would even go far, and you're going to make a couple people mad. Who cares? Those people ain't going to buy from you anyways. They probably weren't even showing up. They just wanted something to complain about. You have to remind them. People's lives get busy. They're going to sit there and check their email, but they're going to forget all about the teleseminar that they signed up for 3 days ago. A couple hours before that webinar, send out an email, say, hey, we're 2 hours away. And then what I like to do, and this is probably where I've seen that I get the most signups for a teleseminar or a webinar, is the very last second where you're saying, hey, I'm getting on the webinar right now. I'm getting ready to fire up the screen for you to watch my screen. I'll be on there to greet you if it's a teleseminar. I'm there right now, ready to greet you. Join us, and it puts in their mind, I think, that it's like, okay, this really is happening. They're there. They're waiting for me. You know, what else am I doing right now? Let me show up. I have found that sending out an email those last few minutes right before your webinar or teleseminar, you get the most signups. You know, maybe you've had 400 or 500 of them sign up over that 3 days, but it was like 50 here, maybe 100 here. But that last bit, you really get if you really push it, you get that big push, and you get a great number of great volume of people signing up for it. So make sure you do a 3-day blast, is what we call them. You send it out 3 days before, the day before, and the day of, and then send out at least one more right before your call saying, hey, let's do this thing. I'm getting on now. Then you do the call with the expert and promote their product. Maybe it's your product that you promote, and they're using your affiliate link if through that. Whatever it is, your expert's on there, they're going to want to benefit through whatever you're selling at the end. So now you've got the person on your list, and now you're offering them something for sale right now. And that's something that I want to always stress, is when you get something in there for free, you always follow up with something for them to buy. They already showed up saying, I'm interested in what you got. Show me what you have. They're going to see the value that you're giving them immediately. So they're going to be checking out your webinar, your teleseminar. They're going to be judging by the value that you're giving them. And then you follow up with, now I've got something for you to sell. And if you've done your job, they're going to go, wow, that was pretty amazing what they just gave me for free. What they got for me to buy must be totally amazing. That's going to have that wow factor for them. So then you're going to send out follow-up emails with maybe recordings to them, or you're going to send out follow-up emails trying to get them to the recording. Maybe you send out, partial recordings to people that weren't able to show up. A lot of the times you'll get a lot of people signing up, and maybe if you're very lucky, 20% of them will actually show up to the call. So you can have 1,000 people show up, and sometimes you get 200 of those people to commit to showing up to that call and sticking with you through the whole end. So you've got those people on a list now. You can do follow-up messages. Maybe you want to give them a taste of what the webinar was like. Maybe if you haven't sold them the recordings, you're going to send them out the recordings, and you have something else for sale afterwards. Maybe to sell whatever kind of product that the expert had to sell at the end, you can continue to sell that. Offer them that, or if you had a product. So maybe you send out the free recordings to it. All right, let's talk about your squeeze page, because this is probably one of the very most important things about your list building. This is your website where people are going to show up, and they're going to give you that all important name and email that is going to put that person on your list for you to build that relationship with. Your free offer squeeze page process, you're going to have a source of traffic to start out. Send them to the home page, which is going to be your blog or your squeeze page, whatever it is, wherever you have a place for you to capture name and email. That's what we're talking about, the home page. In this particular example, it's going to be your squeeze page. You're going to give them an irresistible free taste. So basically say, here it is. This is what I got to offer. Here's the benefits. They're going to sign up for it. They're going to get a free taste basically of what you have. Make it irresistible so that they don't leave, that you get the email and the name and email. Then you start building a relationship with them to get them to buy from you. And after that, you just continue to have a loyal fan. You continue to build that fan base up and to build that loyalty with your customers. That's basically the whole squeeze page process. They're coming on for something for free. You give them a free taste, make sure it's irresistible so that they just got to have it. Build the relationship, get them to buy because you want to move them from free to buying. Because that's where the real power it is, and that's where the money starts coming in, and then to become a loyal fan. All right, creating a powerful squeeze page. A squeeze page is a one-page website specifically designed to entice people to give you their email address. That's basically the only purpose for this is to get that name and email. It's not for them to come and learn a whole bunch because you're basically saying identifying their problem here and saying I have the solution. Opt into the solution. You're not helping them with anything yet. You're basically getting them there. You're getting their attention and enticing them to give you the email address so that you can offer them the help. Providing consistently great content in your messages is key to turning your subscribers into raving fans. Once you get somebody to your website, from that very moment, you need to have be consistently creating great content in all of your messages, and that's going to even start at your squeeze page. The content in that squeeze page has to be excellent. It has to be good because you've got to be able to convert that person that's there into a lead and get them to actually sign up. Before you can develop that relationship, you have to get them to subscribe. If you don't do your job to get them to subscribe, you have lost them. If you send them to a site without a place for them to sign up for some kind of an offer, you're going to lose them. If you're doing that, stop. You've got to be able to capture their name and email. Whatever kind of website you have out there, have a place for them to sign up. If it's on a blog, get them to sign up. Have a place for them to capture, to get some kind of a free offer to get signed up. Your 5 basic elements of a squeeze page. Create a strong headline. Have a simple, clear design. As far as we're talking about the text, create a simple, mostly white page with a table border, headline, a few bullet points, and an opt-in form with a clear, concise call to action. That's basically your squeeze page. You can do video on it. It's a great option and usually will provide higher conversions if you do a good job. And a lot of times even a poor video will still have really good conversions and stuff. Video is a great way for you to give that little bit of extra personalization to it and stuff, where you connect with your audience a little bit more. Sometimes it's even eye to eye if it's just you on there talking and stuff. Otherwise, a PowerPoint like you're watching right now, where you're basically given the slides for them. It's a great way to really personalize it. Graphics. If you're going to use graphics, what I'm going to tell you is to keep it simple and test. You've heard me say this time and time before. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can create the most awesome graphics and load that thing up doesn't mean that's going to convert better. You might think that a great looking header graphic on that squeeze page is going to just wow people, and they really could care less about your header graphic. A lot of times, if you do a good job, it will help in conversions, but make sure that you're testing it. Test it with the graphics, test it without the graphics, test it with simpler graphics, maybe more elaborate, see exactly what works the best. But my advice is to keep it simple. People are showing up to this to get a problem solved, and you're not going to solve it through the graphics that they're looking at. List the most important benefits, not features. You do not want to list out all the features of your product on your squeeze page. Let's think about something like maybe you're selling a Ferrari or something. We'll talk a little bit about benefits and features here in just a second. Basically the difference between your features and benefit is that the features focus on what makes the product. The features are what makes up the product, while the benefits focus on on your experience of that product. So basically, the experience that you've had with your product and other people's have had with your product, those are the benefits of, that you need to really be focused on. So going back to that Ferrari, you know, basically maybe you got a Ferrari that's got handmade Italian leather seats and expensive coverings. Now, are you going to buy that if you showed up to buy that car and they said, it's got handmade Italian leather seats and expensive coverings? Well, that's great. But is that really a benefit or is that a feature of that? What if that same person approached you and said, you know what? It's got handmade Italian leather seats and these in this thing. You're really going to be recognized as someone with style. When somebody looks into this car and they see those handmade leather seats, you're going to be recognized as someone with style, with flair, with real class. You're going to be seen as somebody that's got money. You're going to be seen as somebody better than other people and stuff. And all of a sudden, you're starting to think, it's starting to play on some of those things going in your mind that really kind of get you to buy. And you're starting to look at that, okay, there's benefits to having this leather interior now. Yeah, who cares if it was made of an Italian? If nobody else knows it was made from Italy, who cares? They're going to look at it as leather seats. But if I can go around and I'm telling people I got these great Italian leather seats, they're going to be looking at me, recognize me as someone with style and flair. All of a sudden, you're going, hey, there's some benefit to that. I'm going to look good. I'm going to feel good about myself. And that's what you're after when your squeeze page is connecting with those emotions and those feelings and stuff. And you're going to do that through the benefits and not the features of your product. Have a prominent opt-in form. What I mean by this is have that opt-in form so they can see it, so that they know exactly, they're going to know what it's for. They're going to see that thing and they're going, this guy's after my name and email. Well, he better make it good. And then he's going to, start going through that. But make sure it's in a place where they're going to see that. And I'm saying above the fold. So basically, when you open up a website, everything that you immediately see on your screen is above the fold, and you want them to see that opt-in form. You want to put in their mind exactly what you're after right from the very beginning. Don't make them scroll for it. If you're going to have a long squeeze page, which I really don't recommend, but if you've got to have that long squeeze page, you insist on it, you make sure you have an opt-in form at the very top. If it's long, have one in the middle, have one at the bottom. Everywhere they go, they need to be able to see that opt-in form and be able to find it fast. So the moment that they're ready, they don't have to go looking for it. Because if they got to go looking for it, they're going to go, forget it. Let me go try something different. And have a clear and strong call to action, even though they know what that form is for. They know what your intention is for. You still want to give them a clear, strong call to action. Tell them what you want them to do. Don't make them even guess. Even though they know what you're after, don't make them guess or even stop and think about it. You say, okay, you've read the page, great. Look over to the right, look down below, wherever you got your opt-in form. Go there right now, put your name and email, and I'm going to send you the solution to your problem. Your dreams are going to come true. All of these great benefits that you just read, just think of the experience that you're going to feel once you give me that name and email. So go there right now, and let's make this happen for you. Tell them exactly where to look for it, and tell them exactly what to do. Don't just say, hey, go fill it out. Put your first name and put your primary email in the box to the right below, wherever it is. And make sure, I like to say primary because they all of a sudden start thinking about, instead of thinking about that email that they're not going to check or some fake email or whatever, they're going to think, oh, for me to be able to get this, I got to put in my email that I use all the time. And they're just going to start doing that if you use those kind of words. All right. You only have 3 seconds to grab their attention. If you're showing up to my squeeze page, I only have 3 seconds to grab your attention. And if I don't do that, you're going to take off and you're going to leave. Now, some people you're going to have a little bit longer, but on the average, you have 3 seconds or so. At the most, you're going to have maybe 7 to 10 seconds or whatever. But usually, a lot of times, if you don't grab that person's attention immediately, they're going to leave. You have to grab the reader's you have to grab readers, convert them into prospects, and maintain their attention all in the matter of seconds. If you do not achieve this quickly, efficiently, and effectively, people will simply click away without giving it much thought. And your efforts that you've taken up to that time have been completely wasted if you do not grab their attention and get them to sign up to your squeeze page. You have totally wasted everything that you do if you know that you've done up to that point. You've wasted that autoresponder that you purchased. You wasted all the time that you've whatever kind of traffic that you've been working on to get them to your squeeze page. All of that you've wasted if you don't do your job of getting their attention from the very moment they show up. The most important thing that you can work on is your headline. A headline has two purposes only. A headline is not anything more than to grab their attention and to compel further reading. You're not selling them. It's not your call to action. It's not anything more than grabbing their attention. So when they show up to that website, immediately they start to look. You've got their attention, and it compels them to read on. It compels them to read until they get to that call to action that you've got waiting for them. And that's all your headline is for. It's not these big flashing lights and everything else to that's going to send their mind into overdrive. It's basically just grabbing their attention, and it's going to be the wording that you use that is going to grab their attention, the colors that you use, things like that. Usually we stick to a nice red headline and stuff. Works the best. It's been used time and time again. It works the best. You can try other colors, and what I'm going to tell you is to test it. We're not going to get into all the colors that you can possibly use. Test it. But my advice is that you start out with just the simple red headline. Develop your headline by using the most important benefit of the offer. At its essence, a compelling headline must promise some kind of benefit for the reader in trade for the valuable time it takes to read more. They're spending some valuable time to take that time and read that rest of that squeeze page. And they're going to also be giving you that very valuable name and email, hopefully, when you give them that call to action. So basically, your compelling headline must promise some kind of benefit. So when you're writing your headline, focus on the main benefit of your product. If you do not know the main benefit of your product, if you don't know the benefits of your product, you better start doing some looking at your products because they probably don't have a lot of benefits that are really you have to offer anyways. You should know the benefits of your product. You should know what the main thing is that product is going to solve. And that's what you need to focus on when you're working on your headlines. It must grab the reader's attention. It has to grab their attention and compel further reading. The true purpose of the headline is not to summarize or advertise the website. You're not there to basically summarize what they're going to get there and then say, go, here's your call to action. It's not to advertise what you got there. It's, basically all it is to grab attention, compel further reading. You're going to use the AIDA formula. You've probably heard this many, many times. The famous AIDA formula. Squeeze pages must follow this formula in order to be successful. Your A is attention. Right away, you need to capture the reader's attention. It has to get their interest. Not only does it have to capture their attention, but it has to also arouse the interest to compel them to read farther. Where they're like, okay, you got my attention. And as they read that headline the rest of the way, they go, and now I'm interested in reading farther into this. So it's got to work on attention and then the interest. Then the desire. You increase the reader's desire to read on and to actually get down to that call to action. You've grabbed their attention. They're interested in what you got. Now you have to desire them to continue on. Now, and then you get them to take action. And the last one is action. Get reader to take the desired action that you're going to remember, that clear, concise action that you've got them ready there waiting for. That's what you're working on. Attention, interest, desire, and action. And that's the formula that your squeeze page has to follow for you to have a successful and a good converting squeeze page. There's some emotional triggers that you can work with. When people show up to your squeeze pages and stuff, you really need to be working with these emotional triggers. You have to start working on the emotion. A good sales page, a good squeeze page is going to hit on these emotional triggers to get them to want to really move forward. One of those is fear. One of the biggest things that you can do is give somebody the fear that they're going to lose out on something. A lot of times and you've probably went through this yourself, where you've seen everybody else doing something and you're just not quite sure, but you want to get there because you're afraid that before you get there it's going to be over. That you're going to miss out on whatever's going on. You don't even know what's going on yet, but all you do is something. It must be something big because all these other people are getting it, and you're about to lose out. So fear, pain, connect to their pain right away. They're showing up in pain, or they're not looking for a solution. Connect to that. Their curiosity is another emotional trigger. Mystery, convenience is actually an emotional trigger, where it's basically giving them a convenience. A fast food restaurant will play on the convenience and stuff. When you're hungry right now, that's a convenience of going in there and getting your food right then and there. You're getting that fast food and stuff, and that's what they're playing on, and that's why they play on the fast food so much, is because it's a convenience for you. Pride, power, and ego. People like to feel good about themselves. Connect to them with that. Connect with anger. A lot of times you can get something that'll really anger somebody to make them just like, oh man, I'm so angry right now. And that might be something as simple as using, it's like, everybody else out there is making this happen. Everybody but you. Well, I've got the solution. Your headlines, basically the way you're writing it, is making them feel like everybody else is. The anger just starts to burn inside of. It's like, you're right. Everybody else is winning this race but me. But right now you're telling, and then you're ending this with, but you know what? I've got the solution that's going to help you pull ahead of your competition and stuff. So use the anger, assurance. That they feel assured that as they read on, something's, that they're going to come get the benefits that you're talking about in there. Immortality, that they're, feeling like they're going to live forever. A lot of these kind of things are going to, like in the weight loss niches and stuff like that, where you really connect with their immortality, where it's like, you're probably not feeling so good. You're probably on your way out right now, buddy. Well, guess what? Discover the number one way that you are going to be able to live, add 10 years to your life or whatever it is. I'm not going to give you the great headlines and stuff tonight, but these are just some of the emotional triggers you need to play on. Jealousy, that's kind of goes along with what we were talking about, the anger, where you make people start feeling jealous of what other people are succeeding and you're not. Well, I'm about to show you how you're going to be able to succeed. Don't you wish that you could be getting everything that everybody else around you is getting right now? Really play on that. Shock value, love, lust, greed. These are some emotional triggers for you to play on with your headlines. An example of a headline using greed. Boost your income by more than 100% when you follow the simple step-by-step amazing new system that helped me generate $3,956.75 in 29 days. Now, one of the things I want you to notice about this headline quick is that I didn't just put 3,000 and I didn't put 30 days, because that's what the average person is going to do. And when you show up to that, are you going to believe when somebody gives you more of an exact figure, or if they just give you a rounded figure? Which one are you going to believe in your mind is actually true? Or are you going to say, well, everybody says 30 days, or all of a sudden you're faced with 29 days. Wow, that's not like everybody else's 30 days. You're only one day shy, but I'm telling you, it plays in somebody's mind when you use these figures and when you go more exact instead of rounding things up. That's why a lot of times you'll never see anything that says, hey, I'm generated $3,000. You're going to get a more specific number. So basically, you're telling them you're going to be able to boost your income. You're going to be able to get more than what you already have, just by following this very simple step-by-step amazing new system. Also, you're giving them assurance in that one because you're telling them that it helped you already. So so that they're seeing that somebody else already got results from this. So, and you're telling them that it's simple, so that should be pretty easy. But you're basically playing on the greed in that one. An example of a headline and subheadline using assurance, pride, pain, jealousy, and convenience. Step-by-step videos to ensure you don't do anything that causes you to fail. That one I would put up with that headline up above. That's going to basically that would be like a great sub-headline. So maybe you have the step-by-step video system that you're doing. So you're following that headline up above by step-by-step videos to ensure. So you're giving them insurance that you do not do anything that would cause you to fail. So I would put that one with the one up above. Here's another example of the one we're talking about: super rapid cash affiliate marketing system that gives you everything you need to finally pay off lingering debt. Now, what are you starting to hit on there? You're starting to hit on a pain where they're gonna read that going, oh, lingering debt. Yeah, I got all that stuff. It's really bothering me right now. I'm behind on my bills. And you're telling me I can finally pay this off. All right, okay, you got my attention. Tell me what it's going to do, and you're telling me that everything I need, and you're telling me that it's rapid. That it's to basically live this debt and live the stress-free lifestyle. And you notice that I'm putting the words free in a different color. Usually I would just highlight that with a yellow. Make sure that they're all capitalized. Highlight it sometime, italicize it, whatever, the word free, because people will really they'll concentrate on that. So you're the stress-free lifestyle. You're starting to tell them that they're going to be able to get rid of the pain. They're going to be able to get rid of that stress. It's a no cost, absolutely no cost. It's in a marketing step-by-step proven system, 100% risk-free. It's your turn to experience affiliate rock star status. All of a sudden, you're starting to build that pride up a little bit. Well, they're like, yeah, I want to be the rock star. Everybody else has been up till now. It's my turn. Your affiliate checks are simply waiting for you. It's convenient. They're just sitting there waiting for you, my friend. It's your turn. Isn't it your turn? Basically, what you're saying, it's your turn. But what you're really saying to that person, isn't it your turn to really experience the affiliate rockstar status that you see everybody else? Man, let's step up to the plate and get this. And they're sitting there reading this. And this is just something that I threw together, quickly and stuff for this. It's by no means the greatest headline out there, but what you really need to be looking on is what are the benefits of of your product's going to do. Well, it's going to help them pay off lingering debt. It's going to help them get rid of that pain. It's going to help them rocket themselves to rock star status. You're showing them the benefits that they're going to be able to. It hits on that jealousy because they're sitting there, yeah, everybody else has been doing it. It's my turn now. Doggone it, I want that too. And convenience. Really work on those. The amazing hook. The hook must be amazing. Formulate a hook by researching exactly what your customer would want if you delivered the perfect product. Now I'm going to jump down to the bottom down here. It says, don't be afraid to sell the magic pill. If you can deliver on your promises. A lot of the times you're going to see sales pages and things that say, this is the magic pill. Here's the magic pill that you've been waiting for that is going to skyrocket you to millions. And then you get that and you find out nothing else even happens. Well, there's no magic there. If you cannot sell the magic pill, if you do not have the magic pill, do not promise it. If you can sell it, which if you find out what that magic pill is, please let me know what it is. But if you can deliver the magic pill, then go ahead and sell it. If not, don't, because you have to be able to deliver on your promises. Your hook needs to arouse your audience burning curiosity and force them to listen. It's no different than casting out a fishing pole out in the lake with a hook on it and stuff. You've got to have something there, some bait there that's going to grab there. It's going to have a hook in there so that you can hook that person and start reeling them in. Without the hook, there will be no catch. You can throw a worm in the water all you want. If you don't have a hook attached to that worm, you're not catching the fish. It's hard enough to catch a fish with a hook and stuff, with a worm on the hook. But if you just throw the worm out, you ain't catching the fish. Unless you're a fast swimmer and you're going to jump in there as it's grabbing that worm. Without the hook, there's no catch. And don't be afraid to sell the magic pill if you can deliver on your promises. All right, here's some examples with a headline with a hook. It's time for you to get results. Earn while you learn. Create instant cash, instant fame, and instant list using a powerful and secret system based on decades of proven educational methods. A real business we set up with you that when used correctly has potential to earn you between $3,000 to $5,000 per month online. Now, when you're reading that, I want you to just take a look at that in just a second. I'm going to show you what the hooks are to that, but I want you, there's basically two hooks into that headline. Again, not the greatest headline in the world, but just look at that for a minute and see if you can pick out the two hooks that are in there. Earn while you learn, create instant cash, instant fame, instant list using a powerful and secret system based on decades of proven educational methods. The hooks are earn while you learn. They're basically you're hooking them in saying, okay, all these other times I've been just learning and learning, and now you're telling me I'm going to earn while I learn. So you're going to be teaching me, but all the time while I'm learning, I'm going to be earning. Okay, you got me. You can start reeling now. And also you got proven decades, or based on decades of proven educational methods. All of a sudden you're sitting there telling me you've got, everybody else has just been giving you, these different education and stuff in different ways and stuff, but I'm going to give you proven educational methods. All of a sudden they're going, okay, I like that word proven. I've been learning a lot from other people, but not really getting anywheres. And a lot of times I get something and I really don't learn anything. And now you're telling me that the way that you're going to teach me is has proven methods. So basically, those are the hooks that are in there. That you're going to be able to basically bait. Once you get them baited in, you got their attention, and you're going to start get them on the hook and start reeling them in to that call to action. Use verbs that direct your visitors. You will do well if you paint a vivid picture in the mind of your visitor by the use of action words. The more vivid the picture is, the more compelling the headline will be. Your headline needs to be able to paint a picture. Let's go back to that other one there. What kind of picture does that one create in your mind right there? Earn while you learn. Create instant cash, instant fame, instant lists using a powerful and secret system based on decades of proven educational methods. You're looking at a real business set up with you. So you start picturing in your mind, you're not going to be alone. You're not going to be sitting there all alone anymore. Somebody's going to be there with you. Maybe you start picturing them sitting there side by side with you, helping you create this business. All of a sudden you start picturing, wow, instant cash coming in. All right, I'm learning, I'm making money. You can start seeing the money coming in because you're thinking instant. Instant potatoes, instant food, restaurants giving me that. You start thinking instant, like it's going to start coming in fast. And all of a sudden you can start seeing these things. I'm going to be rocketed to instant fame, and you start imagining your fame and what it's going to look like. And, so you got to create a very, very powerful picture in the mind of that person. For example, a headline like zoom past your competition. Now, if you look over to the picture that we got over to the right, that could be a possible picture that those words could start painting in somebody's mind, where they're running past the competition and they're hitting that finish line first, ahead of their competition. They've won, they're victorious. They start picturing that kind of stuff in their mind. Now, if you could say that the same thing basically in a different way, that's not going to paint that kind of picture in their mind, and it's not going to convert as well. Think about it. If you started out where a lot of people might say, discover how your competition stays ahead of you. What kind of picture does that put in your mind? Well, right away, to my mind, I'm picturing my competition basically ahead of me already. That's not a good picture for me to paint. I don't want to paint somebody's in their mind, have them start painting minds of the competition ahead of them. Even though you're telling them to discover how your competition stays ahead, you're in a roundabout way saying, oh, okay, your competition is staying ahead. Discover the methods how they stay ahead, and then you're going to be able to go zooming past. Well, that's probably not as good as if you were to say zoom past your competition, because now all of a sudden you're painting victory in their mind. Instead of the victory the competition has over them, you're painting, I'm zooming past them. I hit the finish line first. My hands are up. I'm happy. They're the ones that are behind me now, wishing they were me. So be very careful to use verbs that direct your, that direct your visitor, that paints a vivid picture in their mind. An example include for headlines that begin with the words earn, discover, because right away you can start picturing things in your mind. Find, read, get, see, claim, visit, join, sign up, things like that. These are some verbs that you can use that are going to help you to start creating these headlines, to basically to start them painting them, those pictures that you need to paint in their minds. You need a simple and clean design. We talked about this and we're going to go into it a little bit more now. Each element of a squeeze page has its place, but the key is to create a professional and visually appealing page without being distracting. Back to what I've said many times, just because you can doesn't mean you should. You can put all the flashy stuff all over your squeeze page you want to. You might be great at putting all these flashy banners together, and when somebody shows up to your squeeze page, you got blinking lights and all of this kind of stuff. What it's going to be is distracting, and it's not going to get you the conversion that you want. Each element of a squeeze page has its place, but the key is to create a professional and visually appealing page without being distracting. It's not for you to sit there and show off all the different talents you have. Your job is to get that person to convert, to give you the name and email. You want people to sign up, not be in awe of your graphics. So back to the graphics we were talking about later. You might have some great flashy graphics. Maybe you got some great graphics, but those graphics might take away from it. People get busy looking at the graphics going, wow, great graphics and stuff here. It's like, man, I should get this guy to do graphics for me or something, but it's not going to get them on your list. So be careful about using graphics. Create a simple, mostly white page with a table border, headline, a few bullet points, and an opt-in form with a clear and concise call to action. That's basically what you want on your squeeze page. No banners, no AdSense, no outside links, no pop-ups. Now, there are going to be exceptions to your outside links. You may want to have a link down there that's going to give contact information, to put the person's their mind at ease and stuff, that they're going to be able to get a hold of you, or maybe give them a privacy policy that they can go check out or whatever. So at the link at the bottom, you might want to put those links, because basically they're going to give that person that assurance that, okay, they're not going to sell my email address, I'm not going to be spammed and stuff here, I can contact them. It gives them assurance to go ahead and give that name and email, that you've already done a good job to get them there. The banners, what are they going to do with a banner? What do you want to do with a banner? Well, it's pretty enticing sometimes. Well, I want to click on it. Well, what happens if they click on that banner before they give you their name and email? Keep banners off of your, they don't belong on your squeeze page. I don't even like them on my blog. I want people coming to my blog. If I use a banner, it's going to blend in well. It's not going to be just sitting there flashing all over the place saying buy, buy, buy. I want people to come to my squeeze or to my blog saying, I've got some good, valuable content for you to learn here. My number one goal is to deliver good value to you, not just to get you to buy. Those banners and stuff all of a sudden put in somebody's mind, they're after me to buy. Well, yeah, they understand that already, but don't put it in their mind anymore. AdSense, again, they're going to click on it if they're interested in the way they're going to go. You should include a privacy policy, contact information. It helps build trust, and people expect to see that. They already expect to see it, so they're not going to look at that. Usually they don't even touch it. It just puts in their mind. It gives them assurance. Make sure that your links open up in a new window. You're going to do this through the HTML code and stuff, and we'll get into that at a later time, a later date. But make sure that if you have any link that is going to direct them to any other place other than that squeeze page, that it opens up in a new window, so that when they click off of that, they are still on your squeeze page and they have not left. If you have that open up in the same window, When they click out, they've clicked off of your squeeze page. And if they have not given you your name and email, they're probably not going to come back looking. They're probably going to say, oh, well, I guess I didn't need it that bad anyways. And you just got their attention. You had them going, ready to hit that call to action, and they seen something to click away on. And of course, they were curious, and away they went. And if it doesn't open up in a new window, you've lost them. Bulleted list of main benefits. Answer their question. What's in it for me? Give visitors a reason to subscribe. They have to understand that there's something in it for them. They have to be able to see a return on their investment. And that's what your benefits are going to do. Remember, it's not features, it's the benefits. Benefits let your visitors know that there is a solution to their problem. They're showing up with a problem. When they're reading those benefits, they go, okay, I think there's a solution here to my problem, and I think I might have just found it. So let me read on. Not only is there a solution to their problem, but you have the solution. That's what your benefits need to be saying. And it's basically what's in it for them, not what's in it for you, because what's in it for you is that name and email. They already understand once they put their name and email, you got that. They're looking at what's the return on investment for me to give you such value. And most people really value their contact information. And when they give it up, they want to say, what's going to be the return on the investment? I've got a problem here. Can you solve it? You're saying yes, and you're telling me that you have the solution. So, okay, let's go for this. All right, your opt-in form. Your opt-in form needs a way to take action. It needs to be above the fold. Put the opt-in form in a prominent location. So when somebody shows up to your website, they don't got to scroll. It's right there. It needs a way to take action. You have to be able to have an opt-in form that gives them a place for them to enter that name and email. It needs to have the button for them to click. It has to be able to give them a way to take action. Long squeeze page, if you're going to do it, like I've said before, place one opt-in form above the fold and another below it if you're going to make them continue to scroll for anything, or have a way to click on something to get back to that opt-in so they don't have to scroll back to the top. Keep it short and sweet. Only ask for the information you need. Most of the time it's going to be the name and email. You're not going to need phone numbers, addresses, and everything else unless they're opting in for a physical product. If they are, then you might want to know their phone number. At the very least, you're going to want their address so that you can ship it. Only go after the information that you absolutely have to have. Nothing else. Don't sit there and make them opt in for a free report by saying, okay, opt in for this free report, but I need your name, your email, your phone number, your address, your next of kin's phone number, and all of this kind of stuff. Don't make them do that unless you have to have that stuff. If you don't, because they're going to be a little bit skeptical about what's going on. They're going to say, why do they need my phone number? I'm just getting an ebook. What do they need my phone number for? They're going to, right away, they're going to say, they're going to call me and they're going to harass me. So unless you need it, don't go after it. Clear and concise call to action is a must. The final step in creating a squeeze page is getting the visitor to take action. You have to make them act, and you need to create a sense of urgency. They've got to feel like they've got to do it now. And tell them more than once and do so clearly. Their purpose is to get what you are offering. Your purpose is to get their information. Without the call to action, a lot of times they're not going to understand what they're supposed to do. Even though it seems really clear to you what you're trying to get that person to do, a lot of times, especially if they're beginners just starting out on the website, coming to your website, they just got on the internet, they're brand new to it, they don't understand it. They're like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? I'm supposed to give them the email, I guess, but don't make them guess what you want them to do. Tell them so clearly. Tell the visitor exactly what action you want them to take. Make it very clear and concise. Keep the choices simple, either signing up or clicking away, being specific. Don't give them a bunch of options to do. Your number one goal is to get them to sign up for what you have. And so you either are going, they have two options when they show up to your squeeze page. They either give you that name and email, or they go away. Be specific. Don't give them a bunch of choices like, well, if you want that, here, try this. Now, a lot of times if they go away, you can maybe do a pop, an exit pop where you say, hey, wait, you're leaving here. How about if I, even add more value to what I'm already. I think I've done a pretty good job already, but let me add something else to that. Or maybe it was a low cost and you're giving it away for free now for them to, to opt in or whatever. That's the only time I would use maybe an exit pop or something like that. That's the only other kind of choice I would give them. But basically, while they're on that squeeze page, is either sign up or leave. An example, instead of avoid submit now, people do not like to submit now. It does work, but not as good as if you were to say, yes, send me my free video course. If you've got a free video course, you're saying yes. Basically, it's putting in their mind already that they're actually saying yes, because they're reading it. And once they read something that it puts that into their mind like it's my idea. Yes, send me my free video course. And another thing that you really can do there that really helps do this is, let's say your name is George. You could say, yes, George, send me my free video course. What does that do? It now connects that person to you. It connects them to a name, something that they can maybe trust in a little bit more. They have somebody that they can start building a relationship with instead of just a squeeze page and a submit now button. They've got a name that they can start in their mind. A lot of times somebody will tell me something, give me somebody's name, and my mind will start thinking about how that person looks. So a lot of times you can use your name, and that really, really helps. But put in there basically, instead of submit now, say yes, and then what they're wanting. All right, here's just a basically thing. I just created this. It's this kind of a very, very simple squeeze page. Basically, you got your headline, and this is nothing great here. It's just I want to show you an example. Everything you're seeing here is all above the fold. You see when you show up to this, you immediately see that opt-in form. It's in a prominent position. But right away you see that, but you got to remember that headline's got to capture their attention. So, it's your turn to experience affiliate rockstar status, not the greatest, whatever. You got your graphics there. It's not loaded with a bunch of graphics. It's very clean and simple. Something very simple. What the graphic does, and I like to use this kind of graphics instead of header graphics and everything else all over my squeeze pages. But what this graphic does is you're telling them, that they're going to get step-by-step videos. You're giving them just a simple little graphic that they can start picturing something real in their mind instead of something that they're about to, they understand most of them that they're going to download. You might want to put underneath the graphic that this is just a digital, a picture of represent the digital product or whatever, but it puts in their mind that there's actually something real for them to get. And then you go through and you tell them your benefits. You caught their attention, they've seen something real. Your benefits are, and you start explaining the benefits. Remember, keep them simple. Use your main benefits. I can help. Remember those three simple words. That's what you want to focus on these benefits, is that you're telling that person as they read the benefits, I can help. You just remember those three words when you're developing your benefits. Show the reader that there is a solution and that you have it as you're going through your benefits. And then you go over the next thing that you do. They've got your opt-in box. They see it there. They're wanting what you have. Your competition has been running over top of you far too long. It's time to put a stop to it right now. Simply enter your first name and primary email in the provided form. And what's that put into mind? Basically, they're saying, you give me your first name and your primary email, and you're going to stop your competition from running over the top of you. They're like, yeah, okay. First name, primary email. It's the time for you to rise up and be seen. You told them exactly what you want them to do. Simply enter your first name, primary email in the provided form. You could do better yet. You could say down to just below or whatever. Your first name, primary email. Yes, send me my free video course. You're down there completely safe and confidential. We hate spam as much as you. You've seen all that before. Basically, that's all you really need on your squeeze page. Maybe down below you have your contact information, your privacy policy for assurance, but it's plain, it's simple. It's got a white background. It doesn't have all these flashy colors all over. It doesn't have on your pages and bright green and blue and everything else. And there are certain niches, there's certain things that are going to, that you can get away with those kind of different colors and stuff, but in a lot of the niches, it works better just to have a plain, simple, nice white background and a nice red headline and stuff. that kind of squeeze page is going to convert for you better than almost anything. About the only other thing that you could really do instead of all that other stuff is maybe have a video there with your opt-in form where you're telling them, basically say in the headline and you're telling them exactly what the benefits are. And that's how easy it is to do a video. When somebody shows up to your page, your video automatically starts. And instead of reading it, they're hearing you say, you know what? Thanks for showing up. You know what? It's your turn to experience affiliate rockstar status today. Your affiliate checks are simply waiting for you, my friend. And you're sitting there looking at this person. You're making good contact with that camera. So when they're looking at you, your page, they're watching you. They're listening to you now. You're connecting with them. And you're basically reading what you would have on your squeeze page. A lot of people go, well, I don't know what to say. Well, what you would put on your squeeze page, that's what you say. I've got the step-by-step videos to ensure that you don't do anything that causes you to fail. I would like to get them in your hands today, and then you start going through the benefits of them, just talking about the benefits of those videos. And then you say, over to the right, you're going to see an opt-in form. Look over there right now. You see the opt-in form. I want your first name and your primary email. Just enter it in there because you know what? Your competition's been running over top of you way too long now. It's time to put a stop to it right now. So again, simply enter your first name, your primary email in that form right directly below that's provided there, or directly to the right, wherever it is. It's time, and one of the things that you even can do to really help it is if it's down below you, physically point below you with your fingers on the video, or point over to the left or to the right, wherever you've got it. Just point to it. Make sure that you point the right way. I've seen a lot of times people will do a squeeze page and they're saying directly below you in the video, the forms over to the right. Well, yeah, they can see that, but it basically looks like, it's like, man, you didn't even pay attention to what's going on. What kind of expert are you? It just kind of puts a little bit of doubt. So make sure you know where the opt-in form is. You're pointing in the right direction, saying where it's at. So that's how simple it is to do a video. It doesn't have to be nothing long. Basically has to grab their attention, go through the benefits, give them a call to action, and you can use exactly what's on your squeeze page. You can be like, discover. I want to help you discover that one way that you're going to be able to become an affiliate rock star, and start going through all those benefits. Always test and track your results. The trick here is to test to find what works best. Stop what doesn't work and improve what works to increase conversions. Sounds really simple. A lot of people don't do it. They put something up. If they're not getting conversions, they just sit there and go, I'm not getting conversions. I don't know why. Well, did you test anything? Well, no, I didn't test anything. Well, why not? Well, I thought that's all I had to do was build a squeeze page where you go to the squeeze page and it's got, you know, great looking graphics, everything looking good and stuff. Well, I'm not really sure what's making people not sign up and stuff. And as you read, it's like, well, maybe the benefits here aren't really all that strong. Let's talk about the product. What can we think about as a new benefit? This is really good for you to test, is to let other people read it and say, you know, what did you think about it? What did it make you want to do? If you know other marketers, have them look at it. When you got a squeeze page, do split tests with them to make sure that you test different headlines, test it with or without graphics, test it with or without video. Just anything that you do, don't just stop there. Test it to find out if you can get better conversions. What's keeping you from creating a squeeze page right now? I want you to just think about that for a minute, because there's a lot of people that do not have a list. They do not have a squeeze page up. They don't have a free offer though. What in the world is stopping you right now from creating that squeeze page and building your list? I want you to just think about that. List building with ad swaps. So I'm going to show you a few ways that you can kind of build your list. There's kind of little traffic methods where you can build your list, and some quick ones. First one that we want to talk about is list building with ad swaps. An ad swap is where you find a like-minded partner with a list size that is broadly similar to yours, and then you mail for the other person and they mail for you. Now what we're talking about is broadly similar. You don't want somebody that's got the exactly same thing as you do. If somebody's got the exact same thing as you do, why do they want to send them to your list instead of them, building with themselves, their list with their own products and stuff like that? So it's got to be, make sure that's like a good fit for your product. So maybe you got your list is, you're basically known as the expert list builder, and somebody else has got something with traffic. So you can maybe use that person, to do ad swaps, where basically they're just doing nothing more than mailing out to their list for your offer to send them to your squeeze page, and you're basically doing the same for them. Like-minded partner will send a message to their list letting their subscribers know what giveaways you have on your squeeze page. You do the same for their squeeze page on your list. You provide each other the mails to send. So basically you're going to create emails, we call them swipe emails, where you basically, you know your product, you know what works, so you write some emails for them to use basically as a template to go with. You put your link in there to your thing. A lot of times you can use an affiliate link for them they can go through, so if you have some kind of back-end offer. One of the things I want to talk to you about it with ad swaps, that's kind of off topic here a little bit, is if you're doing that, you got somebody sending you traffic to your squeeze page and you're doing the same for them. Monetize it. This will help in a couple different ways. First of all is the way that, first going to pop into your head is if you get them on your list and then you sell them something, you're going to make sales. You're going to make money. Great. Well, what about if that person you're doing an ad swap, you're trying to get them to do an ad swap, understands that you have a back-end marketing so that if you send them to that they're going to make profit from that as well. How much more do you think that person's going to want to send out for you? They're going to want to send you as much traffic as possible for you to make more sales for them. So basically send the email with the link in there and you're basically ready to go. As you build a bigger list, you will be able to ad swap with other people who have bigger lists. What you're looking for when you're doing ad swaps is people that have list size that are similar to yours or bigger. It's going to be easier for you to do the list size that are similar than get people that have bigger lists. Now, one good way that you can do this, if somebody has a bigger list than you, because the way that they're looking at it in their mind is say, my list is bigger than yours, I'm sending you more traffic than you are to me. Well, a way around that is sometimes works is to say to that person, look, you only have to send, I understand you have 100,000 people and I only have maybe 10,000 people, or I have 25,000 people or whatever. I understand you have this big list. You just mail once. I will mail several times to your list or to my list to send traffic to it and stuff. I won't just do it a one-time hit. I'll hit my list 2 or 3 times for you to make up for you just doing that one time. So a lot of times they'll say, okay, well, a lot of times, you send out an email and you get a certain amount of people that are going to pay attention to it and stuff. A lot of people won't pay attention to it, and it seems strange, and a lot of people will go, man, you sent me 3 emails. Well, you paid attention to the third one because you noticed it was there. But a lot of people will not take any kind of action until they've seen it several different times. They say, you got to get something in front of somebody 7 times before they take action a lot of times. So you're sending just once. So you got that big partner, they're just sending once. They understand that everybody's, on their list is not going to opt into your form, but they understand that you sending it several times is probably going to get the same kind of results because you're putting it in front of your list more times and you're getting it out, getting it there for them. So that's one way that if somebody has a bigger list that you can possibly do an ad swap with them and get them to say yes. Always have a back-end strategy in place. It's going to help you get people to do ad swaps, and it's going to help you have an income coming in. Always have a back-end strategy in place no matter what's going on in your business. Ad swap, the critical elements of an ad swap: equal traffic and exposure. Both parties ought to have an email list with a decent amount of subscribers. Both parties have an equivalent audience reach and traffic count. And as we were talking about before, if theirs is bigger, I gave you kind of a way that you can go about hoping to get a yes out of them. Fair placement and exposure. Exchange ads that are displayed in a similar fashion. So if they're sending out an email to your list, don't you go and just put a banner on your blog, especially if your blog is not getting a bunch of traffic. Maybe your ad swap is basically you're swapping banners and you're putting a banner on your blog, they're putting one on their blog. That is displayed in a similar fashion, and that's what you want. If they're sending an email, you send an email. If you're sending putting a banner on your blog, that's what they're going to do. So, and if they're putting it in a nice prominent position, so better you. Don't bury it. You want to keep things fair, the same exposure, and basically the same display in a similar fashion. High relevancy ad. Message must be relevant to the page or site where it is placed, and vice versa for your partner. Don't place some kind of ad or send out some email to a list that's not even targeted for what they are. If you are, expect them to do the same thing for you. If they're sending out to their highly targeted list for you, what you have, why would you send it to anything less for yours? Make sure that you're treating each other fairly in this, and remember, always follow through on what you say. Do your part. If you tell somebody you're doing these ad swaps, they email for you, and you told them you're emailing for them, follow through. Make sure that people can learn to depend on you. All right, the one drawback to an ad swap. Now and again, you're going to arrange a swap with someone that is not playing straight with you, and it's going to happen. There's not a lot you can really do about it. To really, the best thing that you can do is to really do your research, get to know that person, to do ad swaps with people that you know. But every once in a while, you're going to be looking for places to do ad swaps. You're going to find some people say, "Hey, I'd like to do an ad swap with you." You're going to jump at that chance. They may tell you that they have a large email list. They're probably sitting there. They could even tell you, it's like, "I understand you only got 5,000. I've got 50,000 on my list. I'm really going to do a great job. So let's do this swap with you." Not only do I got 50,000, but it's really responsive. When in fact, they probably don't even have a list more than 50, 100 people on it or whatever. What they're looking for is to grow their list from yours. And you're going to run across these people that are going to not be honest with you. It's a fact of life. The only way to get around that is to really research and know the people that you're working with. Maybe ask other people if they've done anything with that person. Maybe ask that person for references or whatever, so that you can do the best that you can to really know that person, because there are people that will play dishonest. There's people out there that are only out for themselves, and you're going to run into them. You've probably run into them already. Where to find ad swaps? Some of the best places to find ad swap partners in the internet marketing niches are joint venture section of the Warrior Forum. It is a great place. Go to the Warrior Forum, just warriorforum.com. Go to the joint venture section, and you'll find people that are looking to do ad swaps. You can say, advertise that you're looking for ad swaps. You can go to IM Ad Swaps. You can sign up for free, and basically it just puts you in a position to find other people that are looking to do ad swaps. So in the IM niche, those are where I probably would go if I wanted to do an ad swap. Would be the Warrior Forum, the joint venture section, or the imadswaps.com. Outside of the IM, you can find ad swaps by searching around your niche's top forums. So basically in all the forums and stuff, whatever niche you're in, there's going to be a forum. Go in there in the forum and look to find ad swaps. A lot of niches might not even have a clue what you're talking about. So you might have to clarify what you're looking to do, and really kind of train them on what it is all about and stuff outside of the IM niche. But if you're in the IM niche, it's a really good way to start building your list with good quality traffic. List building with joint venture giveaways. Joint venture giveaways are a fast and easy way to build an opt-in email list for beginner internet marketers. The real power of a joint venture giveaway lies in participating as a contributor or JV partner. It's not just putting a product in there, it's about participating in the whole experience. A lot of people they'll put their free product in there for the giveaway, and then they'll expect everybody else to send this out to their list and for people to sign up. Well, most of the giveaways that are set, the way they're set up is if you don't promote to your list as well, or if you don't, however they're saying you have to promote, if you don't do that as well, they either take your product out of there, or they will send your product lower on the page. And a lot of them will do it. The more you help promote the giveaway, the higher your product will go on the page. So the real power of a giveaway is in the participation. It's not about just putting a product out there to give away. You can build a huge list in a short amount of time by leveraging the promotional efforts of all the participants. So everybody who's wanting to build their list, everybody's got their products on here. You've seen giveaways before where you're saying, "Hey, I've got this great giveaway. Go here, sign up," and basically get all these products for free. And then each one of the individual products will basically lead you to a squeeze page that you'll have to enter your name and email to sign up for the product. And that's why you want to really participate, especially if they're putting yours up higher the more you participate, because a lot of times they'll start going, when the person shows up to the page, what are they going to see first? They're going to go through, wow, good, good, good. After a while, they're like, I'm tired of putting my name and email in, and they're going to leave. Maybe come back to it later, maybe not. So do the participation is the real power. What you need for a JV giveaway. Here's kind of the blueprint. A quality hosting account. You can use Lunar Pages, HostGator, Bluehost, all three very good hosting accounts. A professional autoresponder to manage your list. You're building a list. You have to have some place to manage it. Aweber, it's what I recommend. GetResponse, One Shopping Cart, Infusionsoft. You need a gift of awesome value to give away. Ebook, software, a video, a collection of web page graphics or templates, maybe a free report, membership to various websites. So maybe it's a free membership, a series of live webinars or teleseminars. You haven't even done them yet, but you're going to be doing a free webinar or teleseminar series, and they're signing up for it. Use your imagination. A lot of marketing, if you would just use your imagination, you would really be able to get farther ahead. If you just can't come up with a good thing, use PLR if you don't have one of your own. A lot of people will grab a PLR product and they'll use that as your giveaway. Now, if you're grabbing a private label product, private label right product, make sure you have the right to give it away. If not, you're not going to be able to use it in the giveaway. So you're going to have to grab a private label right product that also has giveaway rights with it for you to be able to change, make it your own, and give it away as well. So basically you need a hosting account because you got to set up your product pages. You got to set up your, for your product, everything. You need to set up your squeeze page, all of that. You have to have your hosting account, your autoresponder to manage your list and to put your follow-up messages in. You need a gift of awesome value. It has to be something that they want to sign up for. You need an image of your gift. This is not something that's needed, but again, it puts in the mind of that person looking at it, it's more of a perceived value that there's actually something there they're going to get. You need a compelling title and description for your product. This is not some long blown out sales page that you have the opportunity to really sell this person. This is going to be something, and if you work with Twitter at all, you got good practice on this. You've got to be able to basically give a compelling title and a description of your product in a short little paragraph that is going to make that person to want to opt in to your product over top of the other products that are there. A lead capture page. You got to have a squeeze page set up. A thank you page and a download page where basically you're thanking them for signing up, and a download page for them to get the product that they just signed up for. You need a one-time offer page. This is where the real power comes in. Again, the back-end strategy is once you have them, they sign up for this free gift. There's nothing saying that you can't say, thank you for registering for my product. How would you like to buy this? And now, of course, you're not going to say it just like that. You're going to say, or you've got on your thank you page or something where you've got some kind of unadvertised bonus for them to get to sign up for or something. Have something else for them to get. They're interested in what you got right now, so why wouldn't you offer them something else? And you need a follow-up email series. You need something to be able to follow up with the leads that you just got, because if they didn't buy your one-time offer, or if you didn't have a one-time offer, you didn't want to go that direction, you have to get them to buy. So now you need a follow-up series to build that relationship and to get them to turn them into a buyer. You can start a blog. This is the quickest way to have a presence online is by installing a blog. A WordPress blog is preferred. Do it due to its user friendliness and its ability to be customized. I don't recommend the free ones. A lot of times people get into they start up these free ones, just to generate traffic. I'm not saying don't use them, because you can use them to still generate traffic, but make sure that your main blog is a hosted blog that you're having hosted by a company instead of the free one, so that you can monetize it, so that you can customize it. Put an opt-in box on your blog. Create an opt-in box where people will enter their name and email address. You can either do it a couple different ways. You can put a text widget, and I recommend doing it both. You have your text widget, so make sure your blog, the theme that you're using, has widgets. Basically you're going to get your web form code from your Aweber. If you're using Aweber, you're going to take that code, put it into a text widget, and in one of your columns there, you'll find this in the back of your blogs. That's for another webinar. But basically, you put that text in a text widget. In your basically your opt-in box is going to show up. Or you can do it when they go to leave your blog. You can get a script that's going to put an exit pop up where it's saying, "Hey, see that you're leaving. How about this free offer that I got for you?" I recommend using both. If you don't get them when they're while they're on the blog, maybe you can get them when you're reading. But whatever your website is, have a place to capitalize and get that name and email. Build a large blog readership. Consistency is the key. If you're posting quality information on a consistent basis, or if you're adding videos and audios that help your niche to learn something new or to engage their imagination, you will get people signing up for your list. If you're providing good value, people are going to sign up and they're going to want to stick with you to continue to get that value. So you need to provide good, consistent value. The main thing about blogging, yes, it's in the keywords that you use in your blog post. Yes, it's in the titles of your blog. All of that is great, but the main thing that is going to get you the traffic that you need is being consistent with your posting. Not just posting once or twice a month or whatever. Being consistent, whether it's every day, 2 times a day, 2 or 3 times a week. Stay consistent and provide good quality information. You can also guest post on other blogs and promote your offers or link back to your blogs. So maybe you find other blogs that are related to yours where you do a guest blog post and then you send them back to yours to be able to sign up. Or you do, say it's and in that guest post or whatever, saying, I've got also while I'm here, I'd like to give you a free offer, and you send them to your squeeze page. Know your list, who's on them and what they bought. Very quickly, we're going to go into just a little bit of list segregation. You need to know who's on your list. You need to know who's on your list that has not bought anything. You need to know who the people are on your list that have bought something. And here's basically a very simple way that you can set this all up. First of all, if somebody comes to your sales page, you could start with your squeeze page if you want, but we're going to start with our sales page. If they come to your sales page, you do not make a sale. You're going to either through an exit pop or at the very bottom of your page say, "Hey, wait, you took the time to read this page. How would you? I want to make sure I want to reward you for just showing up today." So have some ways for them to opt in and give them a free offer and get them on the free list, where basically now you have a chance to build a relationship with that person and get them to turn them into a buyer. But you didn't lose them. They didn't just show up to your sales page and leave. You got them on your list. So you gave them some kind of an offer. If they bought your front end sale from that sales page, you're going to want to send them to something different. Well, right away you're going to want to send them to a one-time offer. If they choose to not take the one-time offer, all they bought was the front end, basically no OTO sale, you're going to send them to a thank you page, and you're going to say, where would you like, thank you for purchasing. I need to know where to send your download page. Please give me your name and email, and I will send your downloads to you right away. Don't just send them the page right away. You're like, if you're using shopping cart or whatever, you're going to get them on the list through shopping cart if you set one up, and you're going to at least get them their information there. But if you're using something different as your autoresponder, you want to get them on that list. So it's like, thank you for purchasing, where do I send their download? They're going to sign up for it because they want what they just purchased. They're not even going to hesitate. They're going to put their name and email. They're used to doing it. They're now going to be on a new list that says they bought your front end product. You at least know they have a credit card. You at least know that they like what you got and that they're buying. They didn't take you up on your OTO. Now your follow-up messages can kick in, and you can try to sell them on your one-time offer. You can, things like, "Hey, and I noticed you didn't buy the one-time offer." Well, how do you know that? It's because you just put them on this. They just went to this list. If they bought your one-time offer, they would be going to a new list, because once they buy, you're going to say, "Thank you for your download, for your purchase and stuff. Where can I send the downloads to, to basically the front end and to what you just bought?" And now they're going to be on your one-time offer. Now, why do you need to know whether or not, why isn't it okay just to know that they just bought something? Why do you need to know that they bought either the front end or they bought both? Well, let's say that your one-time offer is just an ebook, and your front end offer is an ebook, and your one-time offer is resale rights or private label rights to that. What's that tell you? That tells you a little bit more about that person. Not only that they're buying, but also that they may be interested in private label rights and resell right products because you know what they just bought. And they're saying, I'm interested, I bought this. And the chances is that they're interested in other PLR products or other resale rights products. So if down the road through your follow up or your broadcast message, you can say, hey, I remember you bought the resale rights to this product. How's it going? You can build a relationship trying to help them sell that product so that they can make money. And you're also they're looking at you as like, wow, this person knows me. They're paying attention to what's going on with me. They're trying to help me. You understand where they're at, and you can also say you can also recommend to them other products that they are probably going to be interested in. So make sure, don't just put somebody on the same list. Make sure that you segregate them. And the best way to do that is for free, send them to the free list. If they buy something, send them to an opt-in page where you're saying, where do I send your download page? If they continue on in the sales page, they go to that opt-in page so you know what they bought. All right, in summary, building an email list is going to be one of the single most important aspects of your online business. Your market must know you, trust you, and like you. And if you don't give them a way to communicate with you, if you can't communicate with them, how are they going to get to know you? How are they going to trust you? How are they going to like you? How are you going to even contact them to, once you've lost them from that squeeze page? How are you going to go about getting them back again? You just did a lot of work to get them there in the first place. Make sure that you've optimized it and got them to give that email. Always test and track your results. The trick here is to test to find what works best, stop what doesn't work, and improve what works to increase conversion. It's all about getting better conversions. Once you get people starting on your list, you start tweaking to get better conversions yet. The same with your sales. When you're doing your sales, you're past the list building. You've got them on your list. Always be tweaking your sales pages and things to get them to get higher conversions.